Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Stage of the Game, the world's only, to my knowledge at least, theater and gaming podcast.
Woo!
Joining us
Howie.
are myself, Owen Likely. Anyone
Jesse,
else?
you go next.
Jesse Field.
Morgan Summer.
And the unpictured Tony Bender.
Your picture is there. It's just.
My picture's there.
It is
My
a picture.
current face is not there.
One day.
Oh, someday.
Someday soon.
Soon.
Hopefully soon.
All right.
This is episode 2. Hopefully things look better since I got the actual software instead of the demo software, so there should not be a
Look
watermark
at
this
you.
weekend, and then I will take the time to actually edit it instead of being like, because now I'm not working a show. I guess we should.
Tell us about the closing of your show,
Yes,
Owen.
our show closed. Thank
2
God.
weeks.
Yes, it has been 2 weeks. We didn't do last week because I was
Because
working a
we're
show.
closing shows.
Yes. My show closed, thank God. It's over, done. And if I never see the producer again, it'll be too soon. But let's not talk about that.
How do you really feel?
Well, we talked about that in the last
Yes.
podcast. We talked about how I
did.
really felt.
At length.
in
Yes.
great detail. But now we're getting ready. Rehearsals for Mamma Mia start next week. We have cast coming in on Sunday, which my sister hates because it means I'm missing her Tony party.
Yes, she
I'm
does.
surprised you're still alive, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, she was out in the woods this
Pleased,
past week.
but
so,
surprised.
Oh,
That's
fair.
That's true.
And yeah, I've been doing a lot of apartment turnover, which sucks, but is just part of company management.
At least
What do
you
you
have.
have to do for that?
I pretty much go in, take all the dirty laundry out, take it back to the theater, wash it, bring it back along with equity required things such as coffee, sugar, a notepad, weird things that equity has in our contract that we're required to provide to all of our equity actors in their apartments.
Equity is neat.
A very needed organization.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But there are weird things that wonder, why are we providing this stuff, like chapstick and alarm clocks. The things that I understand why alarm clocks are important, but every time
You have
we
a
go
very specific contract. I've never heard of that before.
I'm sure it's
Oh, no,
because
Macarta
all
we
this
had to
weird
do.
shit has
Macarta
happened.
we had to
Actors
do.
have gotten such dry lips that equity had to step in and save them. Their
Yeah.
director denied them chopstick, and
Yeah,
now
the chapstick, I'm guessing,
Chopstick?
is
chapstick.
specific to our level of lort. But I know alarm clocks is something that has to be provided for all of them. But I think
That's
it's possible it's going to be taken out in the new negotiations, mainly because
which is soon.
Because of iPhones.
Because every time I go into an actor apartment, I find wondering what happened to the alarm clock that we gave them. It's shoved in the closet because they never use them. They use their iPhones,
Hmm.
which every actor in the world has.
Yeah, it's a new age.
Wage.
The new age.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Tim Shields is probably getting done. They just wrapped up a bit, intro. Tim Shields is the managing director of McCarter Theater and also the president of LORT.
Oh my.
Oh,
Yes. So we got to meet him.
Yes, and we know him.
Badass.
We knew him.
Yes,
Knew
knew him.
his-
He would
All
never
right,
remember our
no,
No,
names,
he
but
would not remember us to save our lives. But
But you met him.
yes, we had conversations with each other. But he's getting to preliminary negotiations are done. They're ratifying the stuff, and it should be within the next week, I believe. Should be settled.
that's cool.
But
That's
we're
very
getting
cool.
off topic. I've been talking too long. Someone else tell me what your project is working.
Morgan, you also closed a show recently.
I
Didn't
did
ya?
close my show. So I was working on The Most Beautiful Room in New York at Long Wolf Theater in New Haven, but that closed, a little over a week ago? What day is
week
it?
and a half. It's a Thursday.
Like a week and a half ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. Now I'm back in New Jersey. Now we're starting work on the play that Jessie and her brother wrote. Well, that Jessie wrote and Jared composed. La
Is that a
And
song
so-
from the show?
No,
No.
that was nonsense.
And
Yes.
so
That would have been good placement.
More like that.
yeah, so we had our auditions this last weekend, Saturday, and then we had callbacks on Sunday, and now we are fully cast. So that's
Yeah, that's
exciting.
the reason I didn't get to see when I was home in New Jersey this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Is anyone really home in New Jersey? Sorry.
amen. No, no one is, except for parents. Like you can if you're older, but no one under 30 is at home in New Jersey.
I said that for the sole reason of seeing Owen's face.
Note the New Jersey flag.
Seeing
in
the
background.
anger.
There you go.
Seeing the anger build up on Owen's face.
Well, I can't wait to leave. Let me tell you.
Very soon, Jessie. Very soon.
Very soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I no longer live in New Jersey, but
It's true, you don't.
you guys aren't going to live in New Jersey much longer either.
No, we
less
kind
than a
of-
week.
No.
Moving to New York next week. A week from
Next
today.
week.
Ooh,
Yeah,
of course.
that's fun.
Fuck. But it's gonna be
Tommy,
amazing.
now you know people
Yeah.
who have an apartment in New York.
Hey,
Yep.
Come stay with us.
I don't say that. I will.
You'll get 4 square feet of floor space, but you're welcome to it.
I take up more than 4 square feet of any space. So
You just
You
sit up
curl
and fall
into a
asleep.
ball. Yeah.
We'll make it work.
So yeah, that's good. Everything's coming together on that show. We start rehearsals on Tuesday.
I'm very excited. It was super fun at callbacks to have them do stuff from the show and like hear it, and then you're filled finally with confidence that like you haven't made a horrible mistake and you're not about to be like severely embarrassed with this piece. And you're like, it's okay. It is what you thought it would be.
good. It's not horrible. Ah.
It's not yet terrible. It was very validating for me personally. And we had really good people come out. I mean, like let it be said for non-equity actors, they fucking represent.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm overwhelmed with talent.
Oh, yeah.
And then the fight call was great too. One, because it's awesome and our fight director is awesome. Our fight directors are awesome. But two, because it really helped us decide. Like our fight director would come over to me and he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Doot.
It definitely crushed a couple of dreams, but like the cast we ended up with was really, really
I'm really happy.
great. Even if some of the people I initially fell in love with
We had to let go.
weren't right.
There was one in particular. One
Did
one
you
man.
actually fall in love with him?
I did tell all the actors in callbacks to seduce Morgan was like one of the things I tested them on, see if they could be seductive, and I was like directed at Morgan, and they were like, okay. One guy like demanded her hand from her. He was like, give me your hand.
Yeah, it was like that too, because I didn't initially give him my hand, and then he was like,
Back me up, bro.
I know.
That was fun. But it was one guy. He knows who he is. I sent him a really nice email. But you know, fight call is telling. And if you cannot hack it,
yeah, it's just so important to this particular show that
there are 8 duels.
unfortunately there were people we couldn't cast just because they didn't have the fight experience or the skills built up,
the aptitude, yeah,
and we didn't have the time to teach
that.
it. So
yeah,
but all in all, like we ended up with a really great cast. I'm really excited. It should be really fun.
And they're all so nice. Like, let it be said, they're like the nicest people I could ever hope to meet, and I really appreciate that about them. And our Julie is fucking badass with a sword.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she really is.
Wait till you see this kid. She's gonna kill you all.
Yeah, she was very impressive to watch sword fight. I was like,
you can't just watch her, Jessie. Watch somebody else who you're actually deciding about. I was like, so
she's got it. Pay attention somewhere else.
I know, exactly. It really was.
You were saying about all these nice people. I've said from the get-go, and I was told this when I first joined the business, was the nicest people in the business are the people who will work the most. And that is incredibly true.
I could not agree more. I definitely cast based on that. Like, I don't cast people I don't want to work with because it scares me. You could get somebody who's a real jerk and who like ruins your whole rehearsal vibe. And that's all you get. You get 4 weeks to get it done. Like, you want to be passionate about it and like in the room and like ready to go. So yeah, it's very important to me. I totally agree that you're like cool to work with.
And that really makes or breaks it. It's
Mm-hmm.
everyone gets stressed and under pressure. It's got to be more stressful, but you can't blame people for that.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, these people were so nice. I swear to God, like I was getting nice emails back to my rejection email, and they were like, "Well, thanks. I had a really good time, and it was like so nice to meet you, and I'm going to come see the show." And I was like, "I don't deserve that." Like I tried to let them down kindly and in a timely manner, but
I would hire you if I could.
I said that to a bunch of people. I was like, maybe in the future. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's good to be done with that. It's good to have a cast. They go on slate.
Antonio, what are you working on?
Our season is up and running. Our actors are here. Our crew is here. It's all really, really fun. And it's really great that we just technically got into the space on Monday, even though we're not allowed to hang anything until next Monday. But all of these technicians today are coming to meet us today and saying, "Hey, do you have anything for us to do tomorrow?" And I was like, "Are you that far ahead?" And they're like, "Yeah, we put base coats on, so all of our lights are where they're supposed to be once we can actually get in the air." Wardrobers are saying, "Yeah, we're done with this show. Bring on the next one." And
that's sweet.
It's really quite nice. And the actors are on their second full day of rehearsal, and that's going really well. She blocked half of the first act already, and we're way ahead of it all. And
that's amazing.
I know, and I mean, they only get 2 weeks to rehearse, and then they they get 2 weeks to rehearse, 2 days in tech, and then they open.
Jesus Christ!
It's a true summer stock, and we used to do it in 1 week. Plays only got 1 week of rehearsal.
My God!
And we're doing Broadway Bound, which is hilarious. So I'm really excited because I love Neil Simon. Neil Simon's my favorite playwright. Ken Ludwig's my favorite living playwright. So
and you've met Ken Ludwig.
And I got to tell him how much I really like his work, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. So I said I took this internship. That was at McCarter. I said I took this internship because partially because I really wanted it, and partially because I know they do your work. So I told him that to his face, which is
amazing.
Which is
very cool nice man.
He was a very nice man.
I got to drive him around a lot, but no, in that time I also got to know him really well. He's a very nice guy and very talented writer.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, living the dream, you two.
Did you get to see Murder on the Orient Express?
It was really.
I
really wish I really wish I had, because I mean I like Agatha Christie enough, but again I like him, so.
You need some work, but I definitely think the show itself is going to go far. I know it's going to Hartford stage.
Okay, I didn't know it was going anywhere. So
yeah,
that's good.
It's going from McCarter to Hartford, and then hopefully to New York after that.
Well, there you go. That's nice. So yeah, but that's where I am. We're going really well. I was kind of worried about this, not this past week, but the week before. I was the company manager there for 3 years, and now I'm not. I'm the production manager there. So my week that they were here, I said, "Hey, how's the first show for you? Because our housing isn't ours. We go to hosts, people in the neighborhood, and say, hey, we have actors coming in. You have a spare room. Let's make this happen." And I did that for 3 years, and I'm very excited that I didn't have to do that this year. But I did for the first show because they didn't have time to work it out. And there's 2 of them. 2 people replaced me, which is my claim to fame. But they're doing so well, and I'm so happy for it. I'm very, very happy. They have questions, and it's all stuff that I learned over my experience that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't asked and hadn't experienced it. So, but they're doing so very well, and I was so nervous. Not that they both gave great interviews. They're both great people. I was just so nervous to have it be anyone but me. And that sounds really pompous, but it's also very
to let go of your children.
Exactly, but they're doing so. They're doing so.
Big thing to the company too. Like if something goes wrong with the company, it's going to cause, especially with like company management specifically, something goes wrong with like actors and housing and stuff like that, it's going to fuck up the season.
Yeah,
and they're almost done. They need like 3 more hosts for the entire season.
Wow.
Nice, very nice.
Until the last week of August. So they're killing it, and so at a certain point, my nerves will eventually chill.
No, you still need to work in theater. I mean, so anxiety is just going to be there forever.
Anxiety's just going
It's just part of it.
It's part of our motivation. It keeps me going, my anxiety.
And
Don't fuck up,
all
don't
of my designers are coming in next week. The set designer is a really good friend of mine, and he's coming tomorrow, actually.
Nice.
And I texted him today, and I said, "So we're getting steak and beer tomorrow." And he goes, "Was that even a question?" So I was like, "Fantastic!" So I'm really excited. It's gonna come together. Like I said, the set's done, which was another one of my big concerns. It's built. It needs to get painted. And we have 2 weeks. It opens 2 weeks from today, and it's like done, which is weird to me because I'm used to
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm used to it being never done. So
Yeah.
like,
We'll enjoy this moment, bask in it, because who knows when it will happen again.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So anyway, moving on.
Wonderful though. That's really great.
So the big news for this week is that this coming weekend, this Sunday, the Tonys.
Tonys.
That's gonna be big. Hosted by Kevin. I'm still confused by the fact that Kevin Spacey is hosting the Tonys.
Well, didn't like a million people turn it down?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be like their 24th choice or something.
I love Kevin Spacey though. Like
I'm sure he'll be
I'll
great,
be
but it
excited
just
to watch
seems
him.
It seems odd since he's not like at all known for his stage acting.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
he in? He was in something though. I forget. I looked it up at one point.
Well,
Oh well.
but also
He was
this
in
weekend,
something relatively recently, though, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was in something recently.
It wasn't anything huge. It was a limited engagement thing.
I totally
maybe.
forgot.
I think it was so short that I didn't even catch on my radar. But,
I look it up, but where's my phone? It's a sign. Okay.
the other thing that's happening this weekend, starting Saturday, is E3, the year's largest technology and video game conference. So this is
Why is it named E3?
I have no
I
idea.
never actually asked that question. Does anybody know?
Yeah,
I'm Googling Kevin Spacey. Somebody else
I'll
Google
Google
this.
There we go.
yeah, I looked it up. I think it has something to do with like there are 3 words that start with E's, like electronics, entertainment,
and
something.
education?
I don't know. But I think it's something like that.
Or is it E squared?
Oh,
Or,
it's Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Okay.
Electronic
There it is.
Entertainment Expo. There you go.
It's much more simple than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So E3 will be running from Saturday until Wednesday, maybe, I want to say. I don't know. I know it's going for a few days. I know that.
It doesn't go the full week, yeah.
No, that like conferences start this weekend and then like they end on, I think conferences end Monday night. Like press conferences, and then there's going to be like the show floor where people can go and test stuff and look at stuff. But like the big news stuff is going to come out this weekend.
The hype is on fire.
There's so much hype, and there's so many leaks of things.
Yeah, I was going to say if I may go first on this one,
of course,
Absolutely.
I got 2 things. One, Pokemon, because that's who I am as a person.
Okay, stop you there.
Wonderful.
Did you hear the Pokemon announcement?
I watched it. I didn't listen to it, but
Okay.
I watched it. I was late to a meeting because I was watching it.
Priorities.
What's going on with Pokemon?
It's not exciting.
It's not that
It
exciting.
was going to be exciting.
sound
Like, you know,
exciting.
It was exciting enough.
They hyped it up so much, and then it was.
That's Nintendo, but
Yeah.
They had a big Pokemon announcement, and then
they're doing a couple of fun things. They pretty much announced the equivalent of a Emerald version for for Sun and Moon, which is it's like Ultra. It's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I think is what it's called.
yeah,
And they announced the Gold and Silver, and I think Crystal are coming to the virtual console, so you can get them like they did for the first gen, which is fun. And then they said, "Hey, wait for E3, and there's going to be more." So I like Nintendo's E3 a lot. I think they have fun with it.
Mhm.
I mean, the last time they did it in puppets because their guy was so sick, which was really sad. But he's like, he's like, yeah, I can do voices, but you're gonna have to You're gonna have to do a puppet for me because he didn't look well. That's why they did puppets.
Oh,
Moving on from Pokemon, I'm really excited about Bethesda because apparently there's a kind of a bit of a leak. They're thinking of an open world sort of thing, a la Elder Scrolls and Fallout, except it's new and set in space.
what? That sounds
been
fun.
That's the rumor.
Everyone knows that they've had. Oh, most people know that they've been working on a new IP. For that's not like when most people think Bethesda, they think of Elder Scrolls and Fallout, which are their two big titles. They do other stuff too, but like they specifically said they were working on a new IP. Everyone was hoping Elder Scrolls 6 would be announced, but it's not going to happen.
But they announced Morrowind.
That's my dream.
Sorry, Morgan.
Yeah.
I know.
They're going to talk more about Elder Scrolls Online, the Morrowind expansion, which just came out. But there's a new IP coming out, and people are thinking it's going to be in space because space is so hot right now among video games.
But
that would be really fun, I think.
Open space when literally your environment is space. I'm intrigued, and I trust Bethesda.
To see what they do with that.
Bethesda, I like Bethesda, but then of course there's No Man's Sky, which is open world space.
Yeah.
Open Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is such a disappointment. I mean,
that's
what I'm told. I've never played the game, so I can't really judge. But
see, I've heard that
I can also judge. So
yeah, I can only judge.
You put me in front of a microphone. So
we're here to judge. That's our whole job.
And the internet was not kind to it. So.
The internet was not kind. The
internet
was
represent like a neat technological idea of like a world that keeps spinning out. Like I think it's going to have good impact for the future of games, even if it as itself sucks.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Was that
it was a failure in marketing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, overall, apparently, like by itself, it's a decent game. But like there was way.
I heard it was boring.
I mean, it's not.
I've heard that.
It's not what was promised. That was the big deal.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
My brother got it, and I think he liked it. Like the concept is so cool that like you can go to all these planets. I mean, it was something like if you spent 10 seconds on any planet, it would take you like way more than a human's lifespan to even reach all of the planets that are available in the game. But I think it's like a lot of recycled from planet to planet, like the creatures, like it's not so different. But what I've heard is that it would be like interesting as like a basis for a game. And then like if they came out with more stuff to do with it, or like Jesse was saying, like an interesting technological idea that they can use in future games. But my brother thought it was boring too, to like play it. Like it's not a game you can play for like hours and hours because you're just doing the same thing.
You're eventually going to see the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been told a good substitute. Both games that I don't own No Man's Sky, but I actually own this one that I've never played it because my computer can't run it. Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous, I've been told, is a good substitute for No Man's Sky. Because it's kind of randomly generated, but also kind of not. And apparently, if you can run it, it's really fun. My friends play it in VR because my friends make significantly more money than I do.
I bet they're not in theater.
But that's a hoot. VR is such a good time. They just moved in. One of them, at least, just moved into a brand new space where they have the basement is open, completely open. And he goes, "This is where I'm going." He's a computer science guy. I'm going to develop VR stuff down here. He said, "This is going to be a VR studio because no one else is using the space." He moved in with 2 other people, but he's like, "I'm going to put my computer down here and I'm going to play in VR and develop for VR." And I'm so
amazing.
So much fun because I will be their guinea pig. I said, give me enough time to plan out my schedule, and I will be there in a heartbeat if you let me. So
how fun would that be?
VR is scary. It's scary fun. Sorry, I missed a word. Scary. It is scary fun because you come out and you're like, oh right, real world. Got it.
Yeah, this is my life. Oh.
There's one game that it's a very simple game. It's you shoot drones. It's called Space Pirate Trainer. It's on Steam. I think it's Valve developed actually. Don't quote me on that. I might have made that up. But it's so fun. You have both of the VR things for your hands, and you can have what I do is I have a gun to shoot these things in one hand and a shield to block their shots in the other, and it's so much fun. and one of my friends who has one wears ankle weights on his ankles and then weights on his wrists and does it as a workout. It's great. It is such a good time, and I just wish they were cheaper.
Yeah.
That's
I bet we'll see it.
Both of them have the Vive, which is what Valve.
Yeah, HTC 5.
And it's so, but that can run it, which is at least $1,000, and then in its own right is like 800. So,
Jesus.
Oh my!
And you need a very high-end computer to be able to run it.
Yeah,
which is what I'm working on. I need like 3 more paychecks, and I can afford one. So,
at least you're getting paychecks.
You're not wrong. You'll make it. You'll get there eventually.
Do it for us all.
God.
Do it for us self-producers out there.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. I mean, this is slightly unrelated, but like that one time we played laser tag, I've like never been so invested in like 15 minutes with a plastic gun, and I bet VR would cause like the same amount of excitement and insanity.
At least.
If not more, yeah. Although I was pretty excited at laser tag.
It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, I didn't like the setup for the laser tag though, because the problem with the laser tag was that once you got shot, your gun just shut down for like 5 seconds, and then it came back on.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of.
Which meant that people who were just like camped out by our base just stayed there the entire time because there was no incentive for them to leave.
Yeah, to go back to their base. I agree with that. Although I did enjoy standing next to them and just being like, how long are we going to do this for? When are you going to leave? I'm not going to let your gun turn back on. How long are we? And eventually they'd leave. I'd be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. And I swear, because some of them were children.
Different tactics. Try different tactics.
Something else. Is this fun for you? I'd like to be sniping right now.
Thinking of more of these VR games that I tried out with them, what is the company that did Portal? I'm drawing a blank.
Valve did Portal.
Was it Valve? I thought so.
Yeah.
They did. They have one with a character from Portal that's in VR. So you do a couple things and then you meet one of the characters in Portal, and it was really, really fun. Portal also pissed me the hell off because I was like, I'm so close and I get it and I just can't do it. So and I hate those games. I play those games all the time.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Puzzle games that piss me off. Like I'm so close, I can't figure it out, and I'll rage quit. I don't really rage quit. Like I don't throw controllers and I don't throw my mouse or anything. But I will be like
real gamer if you don't throw controllers.
It's just you, Owen. Just you. Didn't you break a computer once?
That's a story for another time.
As a primarily console gamer, those controllers to be thrown is $60 that I don't want to spend.
I've never broken a controller.
No,
I've never broken a controller on purpose.
No, I've broken the back of my controller, like where the battery pack goes in. Like, okay, that's $2 to replace.
That doesn't.
So that's. Like,
and you should tell your rage quitting story.
Rage quit story.
I'm sure anyone watching and listening might be interested.
Well, wants to know more.
Hopefully, anyone who plays console games will understand why not why I rage quit, but this particular. I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is probably one of the epitome of if you're gonna rage quit, this is a game you're gonna rage quit because playing online Call of Duty is fucking annoying. But I was playing up. I was sitting on my bed playing the video game. I was losing like hell, and then I was like, you know what, fuck this. I threw my controller across the room onto my couch because I know that's a safe space. Like it's not going to break anything because it's the couch. The controller will be fine. Everything will be fine. Unbeknownst to me, earlier that afternoon, I put my laptop on my couch and I left a blanket on top of my laptop. So, long story short, I cracked the screen on my laptop and it cost me $300.
Oh, no.
Poor baby. But you get a great story out of it.
No, I no longer throw my controllers. Instead, I take it and I smash it against my mattress. Because
there you go.
Fuck you.
But at least you didn't break your controller, right?
No.
You just spent $300 to fix your computer.
My computer.
I'm impressed that it only took $300 to fix your computer.
Well, I found a great place that did it for. Like, yeah, I did. It was like a third party place. It wasn't with Apple. So.
Oh well, you have an Apple device. That's why.
Yeah.
Are you anti-Apple device, Tony?
No, I just hate them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see the distinction.
I have an iPad. I have an iPhone. I don't like Apple computers. I just don't. Because they're not that great for gaming. I mean, I do sound stuff. I'm currently talking into a Yeti Pro. Like I love stuff. And that's what I do. But it's I just can't get behind it. I don't like the interface. I just don't like it. That being said, I desperately need a new PC. What I'm using on a laptop right now is about 5-6 years old, and the screen is literally held up by duct tape. And I took it to a Geek Squad, which is my own fault. And they took it away, and they said, "Yeah, it'll be about $650, $700 to fix all the stuff that's wrong with the body." And I said, I could buy another laptop.
Yeah, you could.
Easily. They're like, well, what do you want us to do? And I was like, send it back. I'll pay the $40, $50 that it costs you to check on this, but that's absurd.
Yeah.
Like $700, that's what I spent and that's $100 less than I spent on this laptop.
Yeah.
And no way at all. So yeah, the only thing I will say that Apple has on any other company that I use is their customer service is really worthwhile. When I had a 5, I currently have a iPhone 6 Plus because I got big fat hands. But when I had a 5, it was like 7 days over its warranty, and it started crashing. Like I'd open an app and it would like look like the screen was melting. It was really bad, and I took it to the Apple Store. Bless you.
Thank you.
And I took it to the Apple Store, and I was like, "Yo, watch this!" And I showed them, and they were like, "Oh, that is absolutely a software problem." And what they did a little diagnostic on it, and they're like, "Yeah, the springboard is corrupted." And I was like, "What does that mean?" They said the springboard is what launches from the homepage into the app. So the fact that it's corrupt means you can't really trust opening any of your apps. And they said that's 100% our fault. It's not because you dropped it. It's not because it got wet. There's nothing you did. It's our fault. Here's a new phone.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
That's awesome. So, and there's that. And that is a very happy Apple story. I'm pretty sure that's the same day I bought my iPad. So
you were just like so happy that you were like, must have
Getty dropped some money.
Exactly. I was to buy money on this phone, so I'm spending it anyway.
I'll put it somewhere. Can't take it home with me.
My iPad is what I spend most of my time on because my laptop is basically the screen is held up by duct tape. It's basically a shitty.
You have no webcam.
Exactly, because the casing's broken. Hey, but it's basically a shitty desktop. So it sits on my little makeshift desk in my room, and that's it.
I'm gonna try and curb the conversation back towards E3 predictions since we got very off of on.
Yes, we talked about Nintendo and Pokemon, and then
things. I know that Xbox is going to be talking a lot about their new console, Xbox Scorpio, which is supposed to be the most powerful console ever. There's going to be a lot.
It sounds like a supervillain. It sounds like Xbox Scorpio is going to be taking over the world.
Well, it just
I'm okay with that. Like,
I'm excited about it. I'm not going to buy it because one, I don't have 4K TVs, and two, I don't have good internet. So there's and I don't have the money for it. That's another big factor.
All good reasons together. I'd say you're making the right call.
But I'm hoping that I know Xbox is really trying hard to fight back against Sony and their dominance right now in the console wars. So I'm really hoping that even like while they're doing Scorpio, they announce a lot of great games. So I'm hoping that Microsoft comes out swinging with a lot of. I'm hoping some exclusives or new IPs from Microsoft that I'd be surprised to see. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Scorpio is going to be VR compatible, but
I sure hope it's going to be VR compatible if they're trying to compete with Sony right now. But like, it would be nice if me as a dedicated PlayStation 4 player, like, I guess it would give like Sony players more of a reason to switch over. But like going from the Xbox One to the Scorpio, if there aren't like games that are dedicated for the Scorpio, I'm not sure that they're going to get a lot of people converting. I guess maybe just because people always like the new tech, people will convert.
Well, it's supposed to like run really, really fast. That's the whole thing. This is for like hardcore gamers because that's what this console is specifically for. This is for people who are they play competitively, or they stream or stuff like that. Stuff that they have like a very powerful console that's almost as powerful as a PC, but it's not.
They want to take over the world. It's already named Scorpio. That's my prediction.
The Xbox Scorpio is just like a placeholder name.
It's a clue.
It's
as to its true intention.
That's what the rumored name is.
Oh, I prefer Scorpio. It has more color.
Scorpio is absolutely gonna stick.
Yeah, people are saying it's either gonna like be the Xbox One Elite or something to that effect, or it's gonna stay the Xbox Scorpio.
Elite sounds so elite. I want to be part of like a supervillain organization. It's my marketing 2 cents.
And I agree. You said we were talking about the PS people wanting to switch over. That's what Xbox and Microsoft should be doing, is thinking about all these people who are dedicated. I know a lot of my friends are dedicated Sony people, and that's what they should be kind of focusing on, because eventually, if it's worthwhile and it's not that much money, everyone with an Xbox One will go get this. They need to focus on new people, because that's just how business works. Is you need more people. If you want to do better than your opponents, you need to convince some of your opponents to side with you.
To switch sides.
So they're gonna have to show that like the Xbox Scorpio is like the premier console, and like they're gonna have to show that like there are gonna be games that are played better on this than anything else, and that's what they're going for right now. Like this, like if you want like third-party titles and stuff like that, they will play better on this machine compared to anything else out there. So better than the PS4 Pro, especially better than the Switch. This is gonna be.
Oh wow.
The Switch is just a Zelda playing machine. I think Tony said that last time, and I could not agree more.
Zelda and Mario
so
Kart
sad.
It stuck with me because it was accurate.
Although
that's what I was hoping the Pokemon Direct would be about. Is everyone was hoping for Pokemon Stars, which would be the next step of Sun and Moon, and have it be for the Switch.
It's not happening. The Pokemon.
It's not happening because it would isolate people away from the DS.
Yeah, that's why they need to have they have the 2 separate handheld divisions. They need to keep main Pokemon on their 3DS, or else no one's going to buy it.
Yeah,
but didn't they say that like Pokemon Stadium will be coming to Switch or something like to that effect?
Correct, they did. Like I said, I was watching it without sound because I was at work, and I left my headphones.
I heard that.
I left my
everyone was hoping that Pokemon would come to Switch, but that's going to be Pokemon Stadium or something. But people are hoping that, in terms of other predictions and rumors, that a new Switch game gets announced. People are hoping it's either a new Metroid game or a new Animal Planet. Animal Crossing. Sorry.
Yeah, I know you know what you meant, but. Animal Crossing would be fun on a Switch.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good time. But have any of you played the Switch? Did I ask that last time?
Mm-mm.
No,
we have no friends who have it,
and I'm really jealous because they play backstage or like at work, and like
become better friends with them, and then like come over to their place and then while they're sleeping.
Like, they all play it for Zelda, and I'm not a Zelda person. I've played.
Play it for me, Owen. Do it for your old pal Jesse.
I know none of the Zelda lore. I've only played Zelda Link's Awakening. I never even finished it.
Link's Awakening sucks. No wonder you didn't finish it. Go back, play Ocarina of Time, play Wind Waker, play Twilight
Zelda, and there's Mario Kart. As much as I love Mario Kart, I am fucking terrible at Mario Kart.
You're just driving in a circle because you want to hang out with your friends, which is fun because of your friends and because of, red shells.
Yeah, Owen, remember?
Mario Kart ruins friendships.
It can.
Remember at my birthday, Owen, when we played Mario Kart at the at the arcade, and I beat you.
She threw a blue shell at the last fucking second. I was so pissed. Like, I never win at Mario Kart. I was this close, and you took it away from me.
Good time. That was a good day. I had a lot of fun.
That was fun.
But I did beat you at Crossy Roads.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Sure. I wonder if that high score is still at Bolero.
I only got the daily high score.
Yeah, it wasn't that high. No offense.
God, Morgan, tell your
I mean, it was higher than the one I did. I did not do well at that game at all.
Well, that game is like if you make a mistake, you're hit by a car. I mean, like,
yeah, I know.
The stakes were high.
Crossy Road or Frogger, but for this generation because we've never heard of Frogger.
Crossy Road, my God.
Oh, what other game do we play? Connect Four.
Here's a fun, shameless plug for any Android users. Now that we talked about this, there's a game that a friend of mine just re-released. He had it for a little bit out. I guess it's Google Play for Android. I don't actually know. I don't have an Android. He had it out there. It's called Plungy the Penguin, which is pretty much Flappy Bird. And
Plungy the Penguin.
And it's really stupidly addicting, much like Flappy Bird. And he just re-released it. And it's only out for Android right now.
I never got rid of it.
Aww, so sweet.
It's not out on the App Store because you have to like publish it on a Mac, and he doesn't have one. And I'm pressuring enough to find one because I really want to. Because he was dating a person at the time who had a Mac, so he got to publish it on the App Store. But so I got it then, and it broke my heart when I had to delete it because it stopped working.
Oh.
So I really, 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 I'm gonna do the shameless plug so he can find a Mac.
So if anyone
just
has
date
a Mac,
somebody else. If anybody has a Mac and wants to date an available young programmer,
he's currently in Texas. So
big downer.
Yeah. Is it at least Austin, Texas?
It is Austin, Texas.
Okay, there's some hope.
Yeah,
there's some hope.
So shameless plug.
The liberal part of Texas, like the one little.
There we go.
You'll survive, perhaps.
I really want this to happen because I want it back. I want it back in my life so bad.
That sounds adorable.
I know we've got a lot of time, and I know there was a topic we wanted to talk about. Last week, when we talked about games we were playing, I talked about how I was going through season 2 of Telltale's Walking Dead, and I finally finished that. It was great, by the way. I just bought season 3 because it was on sale. But we had a discussion about episodic gaming and like whether that kind of thing worked. If like we get a little taste here, but then you need to buy all the rest of them, and we had our discussion of whether or not that was something we liked, and I think we came down to like if it's good enough, if it's something that it's consistent throughout, then sure. But if it's something that the first episode's really great, but then they just use the first episode to get you to buy the rest, and the rest aren't as good.
Yeah.
But, and a matter of taste too. Like for people who are more story driven, it probably works better than for people who are action driven.
And there are episodic games that aren't necessarily story driven, like this latest Hitman that came out. That one's episodic, where each new mission comes out at a different time. And that had some degree of success. There was a lot of mixed feelings about that, but away from that, Jessie had a friend of hers, and they had a discussion about whether the episodic structure would work in theaters. So if Jessie wanted to talk a little bit more.
I'll take it away. This was actually me and Morgan's, our scenic painter back at Capitol Stage, Dan, wherever you are, the genius, the guru, the master of sounds and colors and paints.
I know. Best scenic painter ever. Yeah.
But he had this idea that he just threw out to us apprentices, which was what about episodic theater? What about shorter blocks of a story that continues? And your theater could run different stories at a time. You could have a romance going, or an adventure story, or a horror story, and writers writing all the time and actors just learning it by days. And you could have people who subscribe to a show that you put on for them every night of the week. I think it's so neat. I mean, you could have reruns. there's something here. I think about it all the time because it's like, what a way to get an audience to come back, and like a shorter commitment. You could make the tickets way cheaper, and like just so new and fresh all the time. I think it's really neat. What do you guys think? Let's do it.
I mean, the concept itself is interesting, but
the concept of the concept in itself is enough to talk about. I think that's kind of neat. I think that would be a perfect thing for like a young company, not necessarily like college kids, maybe just out of college kids, because eventually those stories get boring. Eventually,
you need good writers. I mean, to keep people
interested. You need good writers
and people who are prepared to like work all the time to keep it rolling.
That was my other point. Is you're going to need like staff writers, which is such a hard thing to find.
But also would be cool for writers to have like a staff writing position at a theater where you can write every day and you have to. Like, there's something cool about that for me as a writer. Like, I'd love to be under that sort of pressure. I think I work well under pressure to just and see what happens and like how you correct. It seems like fun. Like, you need a ton of people and a ton of energy about the project, but it could be like a neat gimmick that you like trap people in because they get invested in the stories and they have to keep coming.
Yeah, this doesn't have to like be something in a city where you get like a lot, like there's a constant stream of people who want to go see theater all the time and who like are willing to like go and see it. You'd also there's a lot of question about money. I mean, how paying the actors.
Always a question.
Paying space.
How you probably have to have like companies for each show that's running almost that you just reuse who are just on some sort of payroll. So yeah, you need a bunch of money.
And because you couldn't charge that much for tickets, but you'd still need to be paying the actors.
The actors a livable wage, yeah. Yes, you would.
So it'd be interesting to see how like Actors Equity would do this kind of thing because like you're doing so many shows a week and stuff like that. And it's not the same show. So would they count it as doing one show? Would you count it as doing multiple shows, multiple contracts? So it'd definitely be
it would fuck up everything. But it's just like I like new ideas like that. I feel like Constantine from the Seagull, but like new forms on our way to something new. I just think about that all the time. Dan, you're a genius. If you're watching this, and you're not, we're not even Facebook friends. You're a genius.
If no, but maybe.
There's no way, but if perhaps. Smart guy, and really good at scenic painting and also like animation.
So good.
God bless all scenic painters, because that is a skill I've never even remotely thought I'd be okay at.
And so inkless, like they would always be making him. They'd be like, "Oh, now that I see exactly what I asked for to the T, can you do it differently?" And he'd be like, "Cool, well, I'm getting paid a flat rate, and now I have to do my whole job over again." But okay.
They had to do that for when at the piano lesson at McCarter during during previews. Emily Mann was like, "You know what? I don't like the color of these walls. We'll change it." It's like, we have a show tomorrow. That means they have to get in here first thing tomorrow morning and paint the walls a new color before the show tomorrow evening.
Oh my gosh! When we did A Doll's House, it was just like the color was never quite right, and we were always painting it every single day. We were painting the whole set, and
I love that director. She's amazing. She's brilliant. But every night when she'd be like, "Oh, I'm in puke yellow hell. We'll have to do it again," I'd be like, "My friends will be here all night." Oh, Janice, you're not wrong, but my friends.
Oh, we painted those walls so many times.
And like personally,
I think that was
I never discerned much of a difference between the colors. Like, to tell you the absolute truth.
Sometimes you'd be painting and you'd be like, "It's the same color. Like, why are we painting?" But then like when it dries, it's like a slightly different color. But like you're putting it on the walls, you're like, I can't even tell where I've already painted because it's literally exactly the same color.
And you're telling a great horror story, but that last phrase, "I can't tell if it looks like the same color," that's me in my everyday life. I literally, I was making a sandwich. I said, "Is this turkey or ham?" And I go, "It's ham." I was like, "I thought it was slightly pink, but I also couldn't really tell." So, that is a story that actually just happened like an hour ago.
That's rough.
Funny story from the last show I worked on. It's hard to say there's a funny story that comes out of that, but the set, they were 5 different types of paint that were used on the set. Only 5 colors.
Mhm.
And the scenic painter had them labeled as gray 1, gray 2, gray 3, gray 4, and not gray.
Not gray.
That's hilarious. Sounds like a dynamic set. Oh,
Oh yes.
So many shades of gray.
Would you say
my.
50 shades?
No,
of
only
gray?
4.
Ha, ha, ha,
Only 4
ha,
shades of gray.
ha.
So sorry.
I believe he said there were 4.
450. What's the difference?
That movie was terrible. The book was.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
I have seen the honest trailers for all of those movies, and they're hilarious. Do recommend. They make it look really funny.
We only have about 10 minutes left, don't we?
Yeah.
We should probably talk about Tony stuff, right? You wanted to talk about Tony stuff?
You mean your stuff?
No,
My stuff. We're going to talk about my stuff. We talked about Kevin Spacey.
We talked about the Tonys last week too, and our predictions really. And
we'll talk about them next week.
And again, I mean, Tony, you're the only one who's really listened to all of them.
Yeah. I'm the opposite of Owen when it comes to not listening to shows before you see them. I only go see shows that.
That's so interesting.
That's what I do. Because if it's not my style, it's not my style, and I don't really want to spend the money because I'm cheap. So
that's fair. No, you don't want to be disappointed, and then yeah.
I got for relatively cheap. I got Groundhog Day, and Dear Evan Hansen. And
Dear Evan Hansen.
It may be an unpopular opinion. I really liked Groundhog Day more.
Did you?
I did. There's something about it. It doesn't take itself too seriously because it shouldn't, and it kind of it made me think. I was like, I went through like the little booklet because I get the physical CDs because I'm a pack rat and I like to have the collection. I was reading through the little pamphlet and I was like, did Bill Murray actually help write this? Because it really sounded like it did. It's just like some of the jokes, some of the mannerisms of the main actor whose name is escaping me.
Andy Carl or something like that.
I think so.
I forget,
but that sounds very strange.
We did see him. Anyways, continue.
It was written not for Bill Murray, but definitely with Bill Murray in mind. And I think that's really cool. And there are certain songs that are just like, I can't tell time. Just eat driving it, and it was just, I'm like, you know what? I can actually listen to this over and over again, like a Groundhog Day scenario, and it'd be so good. And it's in my car right now, and I don't often. It's in the CDs in my car, and I don't often turn it off just because I enjoy listening to it.
Yeah.
Dear Evan Hansen makes you feel.
Yeah, it is a feely show.
It is, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people. Is theater's meant to change the world, which I agree, but also there's nothing wrong with shows that aren't meant to make you cry.
I agree. Yeah, I do.
That are supposed to let you forget that the world will make you cry, and that's kind of. I mean, they're all very good, and I do think Dear Evan Hansen is going to win everything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I like Groundhog Day, and I'll keep it to myself. I'll keep it.
It won the Olivier. I've heard only good things about it, and I watched a neat video where they were doing quick changes for it that looked fucking awesome. Just like they had 8 seconds, and he had to go from like a snowsuit to like a groundhog costume. Like go, and it looked amazing. He's like buttoning the top of his shirt, and the guy is buttoning the bottom, and it was like highly recommend.
The life of a dresser.
Oh, Morgan knows it well. Yeah, I do think Dear Evan Hansen is going to win a lot.
And we'll definitely talk all about we'll go through who won and what happened to E3 on all next week's podcast
and we'll tell you all about our Tony party that Owen's not going to be there for. We'll miss you. We're just sad that you won't be there.
I have to work.
That was a good take.
Really.
I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do.
But I have a segment I wanted to end the podcast on this. The other day I was playing Battlefield Hardline. I'm one of 20 people in the world who still play it because I got it for $5 and I actually enjoy it. But I was going through it and I was actually having a really good game. I didn't realize I was having such a good game until the very end when they posted my score. and like my kills, like my KD ratio and like the amount of kills, I had like 20 more kills than like the person below me. I was like,
whoa,
wow, I'm actually feeling a really immense sense of pride right now that I don't usually feel.
Look at you.
I was thinking we should each go and say our best moments in gaming and our best moment in theater.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's a good.
I've actually
Those
thought
are
about
big
this.
questions.
I will go first.
Good.
Yeah, definitely go first.
My best moment in gaming would be in college when in college I was one of the things the main reason I switched to Xbox was because of the game Left 4 Dead 2, and it's still to this day one of my favorite games of all time. And I played with, and I had a core group of friends that we'd play together. And this one week we were going through and we were beating all the maps on hard mode. And this one night we're like, okay, we're gonna do No Mercy on expert. And so we got there. We started at like 10, and we played until like 2 o'clock in the morning. We finally won, and all of us were RAs in this building. So of course, like we were being loud, but because we're RAs, no one could do shit about
Who's
it.
Who's gonna tell on you? Yeah.
But when we finally won at the end of, like, we finally escaped at the final level, we just all like started shouting and cheering, and it was just so awesome because like, we've been playing for so long. It was just such a great feeling because like knowing that I worked hard for these guys, and we set out a goal to do it, and we did. And it was a great feeling.
That's awesome.
Moment in theater, more simple, is when I got cast as a zombie in the play 2AZ.
Woo!
Because when I went to interview for the apprentice position at the Purple Rose, they told me like, what's your dream like job in theater? I'm like, well, to be honest, my realistic dream would to be cast as like a zombie and like an extra in a zombie movie or something like that. And they're like, oh, interesting. We happen to be doing a play about the zombie apocalypse like next season. I was like, are you?
Are you?
Fast forward, I ended up getting cast in the show and got to play a zombie, and then I retired from acting altogether because it can only go down from there.
I bet you're the best fucking zombie they've ever had. You've been practicing like your whole life for that. Sometimes Owen stops moving and we get scared because it goes on for a long time.
I'm good at playing dead.
Yep.
And it's very convincing.
But yep, those are my 2 moments. Anyone else have theirs?
It's a hard question, my friend. I'll go because I seem to already be talking. And Morgan's face and Tony's headshot look blank. So I never really played video games like competitively. It's more about like going through the story for me as like a theater thing. But certainly one of my fondest memories is when I was living in what we called the Hannaford Hotel in Massachusetts, and I was just getting introduced to real games by my excellent good friend Elisa, and we were playing Dragon Age, and I started playing Dragon Age, and Elisa was playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and then my friend Brianna started playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and it was just like this feeling of like, what is this game? It's amazing! And like, we would call each other if we were like doing like Haram Sharal, we were like, I'm about to do it, I'm about to go there. Like, my romance partner, and we're like, make sure you bring them, don't forget to bring them, they're gonna dance at the end, and we're like, oh, and we're like, how many secrets did you find? And it was just this like feeling in the whole house of like, we're all playing Dragon Age, and like when we're not, we're thinking about it. And it was like my gateway drug to bigger games, and I always really appreciate Elisa for introducing it to me, and now I appreciate Morgan for having it in her room and allowing me to play the whole thing again, which I did and beat. So that was good. In lieu of thinking of my actual best theater moment, because there are a lot that make me cry probably, and I can't think of a best one, I would like to present a bit that me and Morgan have prepared.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Because today I was prop shopping for La Mopette, okay? And here's the thing about prop shopping. Sometimes it sucks, and sometimes, like, you're so inspired by what you find, like, you never find it on the internet. You just have to see it in a store. So, I purchased today this sword for my play. Obviously, we'll be having real fight choreography for the real fights, but there are plays within the play, operas within the play, where they have fake swords, and there's this part where, the goddess Juno is talking to like the prince, and she's like, drop your weapons, and she like magics at them, and they were just gonna like throw their plastic swords away with acting. But instead I found this. Morgan is gonna give me the line. I am the
Or like my version of the line. So like, the goddess Juno commands you.
Cadmus. I'm Prince Cadmus. Ready?
Okay. Yes. The goddess Juno commands you drop your swords. Ah!
It's broken. Oh God.
We've been practicing this bit all night, guys.
Yeah, a little
all
bit.
night.
Mostly because I think it's really fun. This is a Jack Sparrow swing and fling sword. I don't know what it's for, but it really makes me laugh that it breaks like this. I've been playing with it all day. And so that's a fun thing that happened. This play is really exciting for me. I'm really excited about this one. You know, we've been working on Rachel for like 7 years now, and I love that play, and everyone who's worked on that play means so much to me because there was a time when that play was horrible, you know, and I remember doing it as my thesis in Brandeis, and one of my actual most touching moments was when, like, this cast, we had our one day of tech, and it was like the worst day of my life. And like, you look at your play and you see it's horrible, and you look at the production and you know it's not coming together, and it's 3.5 hours long and you run out of time and you're like devastated. And it was like this group of people who were just there for me, just because they cared about me and they're like, to make this happen for me. And we stayed up really late and we made a bunch of cuts, and like we pulled together something that I was proud of. I mean, like, it wasn't great. Like, I got the DVD over here that Morgan really wants me to show her, and I'm like, yes! Because I'm scared of remembering what it really was. But like, the people who worked on this show, you know who you are like some of the kindest people I've ever met, and so talented, because this version was impossible to sing and act. It was like 3.5 hours of like operetta nonsense, and they learned it. And that meant a lot to me. Like, was not when we really succeeded, but when I really felt we were going to fail, and they like came through for me. And I love you all, especially you, Jamie. But everyone. Brianna and Elisa, of course, too. Okay, next.
Tony or Morgan?
I don't know. This is a very difficult question.
If you want to do the sword bit again, we can do the sword bit again.
Just to rewind what we just did. No, I can't think of it. Like, if we're talking about like things that we've wasted, like video game parts that we've wasted like hours of our lives trying to accomplish and then have eventually accomplished, I can think of many a Spyro the Dragon boss battle that I spent like hours and hours trying to defeat, and then eventually did, and it was just like the best moment of my life. You know that horrible feeling when you're like almost there and then you die? Like, you literally know that you have like to get one more hit and then you would win, but instead you die. Yeah, that happened to me so many times playing those games. Best theater moment. I don't really know. I mean, when I did Brodus, like, that was a pretty big moment in my life, only because like, I had always wanted to, like, as a kid, I had always wanted to be an actor, but I never thought I would like actually have the opportunity to work on a professional production, sort of the same as you, Owen. And when I got cast in that show, it was like the most amazing thing that had ever happened in my life. I mean, despite the fact that I was an apprentice and therefore like it was like not as much as being like a full-fledged cast member, but it was still really awesome. And I got to sing the line, "I miss my anus," at the top of my lungs every single night.
He insisted she sing it at the top of her lungs. It's true. And she was a rat.
And I was a rat. I was a rat who had to dance while using a crutch. It was a very interesting show.
I love that scene. That play was so funny and so tragic.
I loved that show so amazing play. Much. And that was like one of those things where it was just like, it was such a really awesome cast. Like, the cast was really great, and like I had seen the original production of it, so it was like really fun to like be a part of it. It was through this small little writing group called the Burglars of Ham that's based out of LA. So that was really cool, and it was just like all together like this really fun experience. That, I mean, I've worked on a lot of shows, but like that was the one I got to live my acting dream in. So that was fun. So that was a pretty good theater moment in my life.
Okay, Tony, it's all up to you.
Tony.
Tony.
Is this where we find out that Tony's been dead for 20 minutes and like none of us have noticed his headshot is so stoic? Tony!
Tony?
And
maybe he did die. Oh no, Tony!
Whoever's near Tony, go over and check on him, and then call us right away. I mean, I know this isn't live or anything.
Can you hear me now? Oh no!
Yes, there you are.
Oh my god!
There we go.
So scared.
Sorry, I was talking. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I think I have a couple. Those were great stories. I did comment on a couple of them, and I don't know if you heard me.
We did not, unfortunately.
No? Well, there you go. Anyway, they were great. They're very sweet. I have a couple gaming wise, and I may have told them I'd give them a shout out here and there. As Owen knows, Destiny.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about Destiny.
I'm gonna test about Destiny. He had to know. I have we do have a clan in Destiny. It's all of 6 people. And when the last expansion came out, it was the Wrath of the Machine raid, and we had such a hard time coordinating it. And raid takes 6 people, so it was going to be all of us. And we made a promise to each other that we were going to go in blind, meaning none of us were going to watch any videos. We're not going to watch any strategies. We're going to do nothing.
Smart.
And to go all out, it was of 6 people. 1 person was by himself. 3 of us went to one of their apartments. Each brought our TVs and sat in the same room with our Xboxes all hardwired in to the internet and just went. So 3 of us were in the same room. 2 were in one room, and 1 was by himself. And it got to be like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were like, we're so tired. And we were on the last boss, and we just didn't have the hand-eye coordination to do it again. And just like we won't beat this. We are so tired. There's no way we can do this. And then we woke up in the morning and beat it right away. and it was really great because we know it was the last raid of Destiny 1, and that was a lot of fun. There's a lot of really good Destiny stories because like we'd be doing nothing. We'd be playing the weekly PvP matches, and something silly would happen, and we'd laugh till we cried. And that game has been a lot of fun, and I was really forced into it to spend $60 that I didn't really have when it came out, and I don't regret it. So if they're listening, thank you. And theater, this one's actually going to be even worse. I got a sad one and then a funny one.
Okay.
So the sad one, we did Music Man. It was in college. I was Mayor Shin in Music Man.
Amazing.
Which is very funny. And it was, I should have worked much harder than I did. But in the process of the rehearsals, my grandfather passed away. And he was in his 80s, and he was the first Bender man to make it past 70. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of cool and kind of scary. But
you'll break the chain. Don't worry.
Okay, but he, his wife, my grandma, died when I was 5, so I barely knew her, and I remember it was opening night. My parents were there, my family was there, and I remember hearing the orchestra and all this stuff, and I remember having the thought of like, oh, cool, they get to watch it together. It's the first time they get to see me perform together.
Aww,
and that was
that's nice.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's a nice sad one. The happy, funny one was my final performance. We were doing that's the last time I've acted, I guess, professionally, not really, but whatever. It's the last time I was in a full length show. We were doing How to Succeed, because why not? And I was Bigley. I was JB Bigley. I was the big head honcho boss. And if you know the show,
Yep, we lost your audio.
Tony.
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay,
Can you hear me again?
Yeah,
you're back.
Okay, sorry. So he does this fun little college fight song, and it was opening night, and I wear glasses or contacts, and I decided to do opening night with neither.
Oh no,
that's a call.
In this song, there's a point where I stagger back, and because I had no sense of balance, because I couldn't see, I kept going. I took out a desk. I took out a lamp. And it was very funny. And I got up and finished the fucking dance number. And I go backstage and finish out the act. And the stage manager comes back during intermission and bursts into the men's dressing room. She goes, "I hope you're all not naked because I have to punch this guy." And she goes, "I hate you because one, that was so funny. Two, you probably hurt yourself." And I did. I'm pretty sure I broke my wrist.
Oh my god.
And she goes, "You probably hurt yourself. And three, no one but people involved in the production knew that you weren't supposed to do that." And she goes, "You did it, and you stayed in so much character, and it's like it looked like the character was supposed to fall, and I hate you for it." So
you should be grateful for that. That's real professionalism.
I was so happy because I got up and I was like, "That's really funny," but ow.
I bet.
And in my old age makeup, they grayed my hair, and in my old age makeup, I went to the bar with a splint in my hand after the show.
Oh, you deserve to drink after that show.
That was very funny. So those are my stories.
They're good stories. Well, this is a good question, Owen.
Thank you. I think it's a great way to end the podcast. Thank you all for listening, watching. I'm gonna try and find a way to get just the audio version and find a way to put it on iTunes. It's a little complicated. I was looking up things for it, but because I have to get some kind of thing for it, but whatever. I'll try and do that. And of course, this is going to be on our YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who's liking our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Tell your friends.
Yes, please do. And since none of you actually did this the last time I asked this, please comment on this, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, and tell us how we can improve this. Because right now we have no feedback, and we'd like it. We'd really like your feedback.
Criticize us.
Yes, be as brutal as you possibly can, and just tell us what you think, because we would love to know. Because we'd like to do this, we'd like to keep doing this, but if we don't know that people are actually watching, then no.
At some point, we'll get embarrassed and just stop quietly.
At some point.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But and then we're going to probably have guests on at some point. So if you are interested in coming on, let us know. Message us on the Facebook group. And
we're talking to you, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes. That is the ultimate goal.
You stumbled upon our ultimate goal.
So yes, thank you for everyone. And we will try to be back next week. I can't promise it because theater. If you work in theater, you'll understand.
Because theater.
Yeah.
We do what we
we're
can.
going to try our hardest to be back next week and give you a rundown of what happened at the Tonys and E3.
Yes.
Until next week.
Wonderful.
Bye-bye.